joining that 0-16 club. But they made a lot of noise in the offseason. I mean, getting Todd Haley as your offensive coordinator, Jarvis Landry, Carlos Hyde. What offseason move do you really see as being the biggest as a key to their success?
Well, it's a good question because with John Dorsey, I mean, he came in and he essentially cleaned house. So there's a lot to pick from. They just did their first inter-squad scrimmage yesterday, and I was out there, and I'll tell you what, Jarvis Landry looks so damn good. He's so impressive. And, yeah, it's inter-squad scrimmage, and you can't read too much into it, but John Dorsey was saying yesterday, I forget what the exact number is. It's like 30. Like, he needs 30 catches in his fifth season to pass Larry Fitzgerald as the most catches in the first 5 years in the league for any receiver in NFL history. So this is a guy who he's averaging 100 catches a year. He's got 4 years under his belt and 400 catches. And he's a guy who in Miami, and part of this is Tannehill, part of this is kind of our perception of what slot receivers are. He averaged like 8 or 9 yards a catch, and so everybody just says, oh, he's an intermediate route slot guy. And they almost use it, to demean him. This dude gets separation in a phone booth. This dude gets separation down the field. So I think no matter what, whether or not it's Tyrod Taylor or Baker Mayfield, and we all pretty much expect both of them to start, a number of games this year. At some point, you have to expect Tyrod hands the reins over. Whoever it is under center, those are probably the two biggest additions because quarterback's the most important position, and because since 1999 the Browns have not had that question answered. So I would say Tyrod Taylor and Baker Mayfield are your two biggest additions, but I think Jarvis Landry is going to be the most important because he's going to help out whoever it is who's under center so much. He's a really good football player, and not only did they trade for him and give up picks, but then they sign him to that contract. So they really believe that he's going to make a big impact. So I would say Jarvis Landry is going to prove to be the most important addition, but it's going to be because of the impact he has on both Taylor and Mayfield. And it is Tyrod's job, certainly to start. And I think there might actually still be more from Tyrod Taylor that we didn't necessarily see in Buffalo.
I agree.
People forget he didn't become a starter until he was 25 years old. And then he was in Buffalo, with Rex Ryan and all these different coordinators and LaShawn McCoy, and that was pretty much the offense. He didn't have any weapons. Sammy Watkins was – it was a bunch of crappy receivers and tight ends, and Sammy Watkins was always hurt. So I think Tyrod Taylor has a little bit more. I don't think he has more to prove that he's going to be the quarterback in the future for the Browns. I mean, obviously everybody expects Baker to take the field and to take that job as his at some point this year. But long answer for a pretty simple question. I'd say Jarvis Landry is going to be the most important right away. You're just going to see Jarvis Landry's impact on that team.